start here. Make sure you cut in, don't cut it straight across. Cut in under the head and angle it towards the front, because there's a big piece of meat right behind the head there. And cut in around behind the fins and the gills. There's some bone stuff in there. But you're not cutting through the backbone. And turn the knife along the backbone and follow the backbone down into the fish.
Hello, honey. Come home.
And you kind of work it back and forth. You want to try and stay on top of that fin there.
Cool.
Stay on top of
Someone's
it.
getting a lesson. This is the coolest way to fix trout.
Yeah, cut it a little too deep there, but we'll have to clean up the fillet then afterwards. But I always like to make sure I get all the meat. And when I first started doing this, I was afraid you were losing meat, but then I tried to afterwards to trim more meat off the carcass, and in fact this is very effective for getting all the meat off down to the end. Then flip it over. I like these cold water Shasta trout. They're red like salmon. Then work it away from the skin there at the base, and then pressing a lot of side pressure, down pressure along the skin, and take the skin off. And hopefully it comes off in one piece, but sometimes you have to rework it. But we'll see how this goes. This is the first one I've done in a while, so you have to get back into practice sometimes. There we go. Now, this shows, yeah, pretty good job on the skin. No meat there. And if you look at here, now this is a big fish, and there's a little bit on here. When I do a salmon, I take all this little scraps like this, and on a salmon it can be quite a bit. And I saute it for breakfast or brunch then afterwards. This is no good. There's a lot of fins, bone fins and fin bones in there. There might be a little bit of meat left here. But, I mean, that's it. So, that's why I like filet. And then you don't have to mess with any of the bones. The skin, when you cook it with the skin, it doesn't taste as good, I think. Give me a bowl, will you, Ron? Please.
What's that?
Over there. A big one and a little one. Now, doing the back side, once you have the one side off, you don't gut these because it's harder to fillet them. And the back side is sometimes more difficult because it doesn't have as much filler behind it. The other fillets cut off. But here again, cutting up behind the head, like that, and turn the knife along the backbone and following the backbone down. A lot of times on the second side, it cuts in too deep on the belly fins, and you have to clean the fillet up later. You see, in fact, I am going in between the belly fins. Uh-oh, came off there. So you just grab it. I'm going to do this right now. Don't cut yourself. Yeah, now I got it restarted. Alright, come on. Still, here. Side pressure, follow the backbone. Try and stay just above this fin here, which I did a pretty good job on those in this fin. And a little bit of this action if I cut too deep into the backbone there, so I have to readjust, get it started again. Down to the end. Try not to cut off that last piece because that's your start on the tail. I mean on the skinning at the tail there. Turn this back like that. Here again, start getting the meat off the skin at the tail. Side pressure. You get a feel for this after a while. I don't know if I have it yet or not, though. Come on. I'll check the carcass later for another little piece of scrap meat on there. But as far as the video goes, there's one more thing that I need to show you. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, that's just a little. It's like half skin there. Okay, then this is the part where you can feel the bone, the ridge of the bones, where you cut through the ribs when you're following the backbone down. So you got to get underneath them. It's kind of with a gentle touch there. And if you can start the knife, oops, I got a couple bones up there. Because I like, some bones. I like boneless, skinless trout fillets. Okay, once you get it started, then if you turn the knife up like this and follow the bones down, you should be able to see the edge of the knife in here, following the bones on out. That way you don't cut any meat off with these bones. And one thing about trout, people don't like to eat trout, and I know I don't like to eat them with bones in them. So, this is hard work. This trout you caught, Rob, is so big here, huh? For a California trout. Okay, down to the end. There, you see the knife, the edge of the knife blade there? Because I'm turning it up and I'm following the bones down, so then when I get it off, there should be virtually no meat left on the bones. We get rid of that.
That's nice.
There's a couple little bones here. You got to check this again sometimes. I didn't quite get under them all, but you can feel them if you check it. There. Now it should be boneless. Yeah, it feels good. Rinse them off. Rinse this off and put it in a bowl of water until you're ready to cook it, which in this case is going to be about half an hour because we have to get the potatoes going first. So you just store them in then once you get the fillets like this, yeah, these are fresh too. Once you're done cleaning, then you can put it in the refrigerator, and when you're ready to cook, you're all set. That's the filleting, the boneless, skinless trout filleting seminar.